Welcome back, everybody. Now we're looking at Bitcoin at $46,091. And we've got a few things pulled up here. Now, this isn't your typical chart. This is a Renko chart on a 1,000 ticks. So this is a $10 move, every one of these ticks, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, of course, we've also got a 21 period simple moving average, and then we've got a 21 period TEMA, okay? Exponential average. We've got the awesome oscillator down here at the bottom. That gives us good buying, and what's really interesting is that the awesome oscillator with a Renko chart works a lot better, a lot more like the TTM does. And if I were to change this over to a regular chart, it wouldn't look exactly and have this cyan color in it. It would have, here's your heavy selling pressure. This is the rest of it to catch up, the overreaction. This is the correction. But yes. Now let's see what pops up on our list here, and we'll zoom out. And this is only a 15-day 1,000 tick chart. And we can make that time frame a little longer. We can go a 180. And now we can really track those moves. There we go. Now, let's put Tesla up against this chart and see what it looks like. Now 675.50. That's a fair price for Tesla. 670 looks like in between 13 and 90. Okay. Let's see if it'll pull up. Or if that's way too far out. Maybe let's ask it for just 5 days worth of data. Okay, let's start with that. As you can see, the awesome oscillator doesn't show us that middle section when nothing's really happening now. Okay, now let's jump back over to our Renko bars. And we'll mess with the tick range just a little bit. We'll go back to the 100 tick range, 5 days. And nothing is showing up on our list here. And the fact that the chart isn't loading, I find that to really be a good thing. And that means that a lot of people want access to it. If that's the case, that means there's probably high volume and high traffic on that stock. Look how it hit this line and just kept bouncing. It got rejected again. Now on the 100 tick chart, So we're looking at, dollar moves. These are dollars. All right. Now, unless you're trading with big dollars, you're not really going to make big dollars. Unless you can find the absolute bottom, which is very hard to find. So we use something else for that. We have a tool for that. We look for the VWAP. Okay, now, you may be familiar with the traditional VWAP, but here on my channel, I have some arrows that I like to use. I take these arrows, slap them on top of whatever indicator I'm also currently using to help me identify change in trend, okay? And we even have a conditional buy system set up for these arrows that, I've made another video on, but I could make another video on too. And you see we get our up signal, then we get our down signal, then we get an up signal, then we get a down signal. Okay, so this VWAP is very accurate. Now this is on a Renko chart, all right? Now let's bring this back over to Bitcoin and see how accurate it is there. Now on this 100 tick chart, oh dear. Okay, now let's zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Okay, now we can see on a 100 tick chart, this is some really good action and trading, and you can really trade Bitcoin well. So you would have access with this particular chart study and setup, the ability to find the lows. Okay, now the 100 tick just doesn't seem, all right, so let's go with a 30-day, and we'll go down to a 50 tick. All right, now it's going to give it a little bit more choppiness, but I was hoping to get a slightly bigger view of the chart like that, but I don't see that happening. Okay. So you can see how if you were trading Bitcoin, you could see your lows, okay, and your highs. And of course we can bring it in on a lower time frame. We can change that down. We can make it just for today, and we can make it just for 5 ticks. Okay. Oh. Okay, sorry. We cannot. We can make it. Okay, so now on a 5 tick, that really shows a big difference. All right, and I think as big as we can go is, let's go to the 1,000 tick again. And see, now we at least see this type of movement. Okay. So with our VWAP signals, we can see where we get our ups and our downs and whatnot. So you can see where your trades should be placed. Shorting from here would be obvious. Buying from here would be obvious. Okay. Now let's just check out one of our other EV stocks that we like to look at. Now on a 1,000 tick chart, that might not be realistic for it. So let's take that down to a 50 tick. Okay. Then you see your lows here. Another low here. Good entry. Good scalp. And you could have scalped that too. This is on the 50 tick chart, keeping in mind. Okay. And of course our moving averages are, accurate as well with our TEMA. So even if we would have taken this as our confirmation, you know, and shorted from here, we still could have done well. Okay. And this is about one of the simplest setups that you can start with. And so if you find it helpful, you know, hit that like button and, you know, say thanks down below. I always appreciate that. I like talking to people. And, of course, it looks like we're still coming down in Workhorse here. So we're going to hit another little bit of a bottom when we open up on Friday morning. A little bit of swish action. And looks like it will probably bottom out right around where it has most support at. Right in here somewhere. Of course, where all the institutional buying is, and then it should take off from there. So I'd like to see Workhorse come down in this 1550 range is where we might see it, 1560-ish, and you know, it'll do a little reversal and probably head back up to that $17, $18 range in no time. And then, of course, back up to the $20 range in no time, too, if things start really looking up for them. But let's hope they do. Now, what else can we look up? There were a couple stocks that we could check out for this week that I know are probably going to have a little bit of action. That's just because they're cheap. Now on a 50 tick chart, this one's way down. Let's adjust that. Okay. This looks like IDEX is crossing over, and they are about to cross above zero. This is excellent action. You know, this big you know, divergence here and what's going on, this is a huge disagreement. So these should wrap up under each other and take off this way. I like it. Now, even if they come up above zero and fall back and come back up, that's okay. But I like the way that is setting up, even on the 5-minute chart. You know, with the way things look, you know, we can still follow our VWAP signals. Now, you may want to come back out to the hour chart to verify most of your signals, okay? Or even your 4-hour chart or daily chart to verify you're not getting into, say, like a bull run like this, you know, getting in. But overall, look at this, curving down. So, I mean, this is still a short. It would have to come down and recover some more. And if this is the bottom, okay, and it does this type of action here, this little curve over and run up, then we've still got this little downtime here. So, see on the daily, we're still down here. So, we're looking for our reversal, and if this is our price coming back up, and we have a big support right in this level, the 314, okay. So I can't say that this is going to explode, but I can say that it is going to head back up to that, you know, its recent high. Okay. You know, it will head back up to around its recent high. It's setting up for a very nice reversal here. You know, so even if it you know, has to putter along here for a little bit, 1 or 2 days, and then take off. Okay, what else is on our list? What do we need to check out? Let's check out Fisker. Okay, recent action, it blew up. Wow. Very nice. And if we were on a Renko chart, would we have caught it? Well, on a low, following VWAP signals, scalping and getting out, you would have caught some of the run. You would have got back in, caught some of the run, got back in, caught some of the run, got back in, caught some of the run. A very faithful scalping setup. Gives you a bit of a stochastics movement. It shows you volume and, say buying and selling pressures, along with volume, average weighted price. So I think I'll throw this indicator together professionally, all in one study. Maybe even create some other conditional orders with it, some labels on the screen, and I'll get that saved over on GitHub so everybody can have it. Now, I'm personally going to be looking at, of course, Palantir, NNDM, BTBT, Li Auto, LI, HUMBL, or Humble, and then, let's see, SQ, and, of course, Tesla. We always like watching Tesla and Apple. I'll be watching Apple. Okay. And we can see here with Apple, look at how this cyber cycles turns out on this 10-tick chart. That is just so interesting. Okay, so let's take off the 10-tick and let's jump that up to 50 ticks. Okay, now that gives us a little bit more information, but really the way that lower tick looked on that chart, that was wicked. I want to check that out again, but in a 10-tick, and see if there's any way we can really recognize big movements in small tick charts. And, Apple here is obviously being traded by an algorithm. I mean, all day that's algorithmic trading. Okay, VWAP here. And see, the VWAP signals don't normally end up being bad signals, but not that that was a bad signal, that was the very low, but then what? Okay, this was a great signal for that VWAP. Okay, decent signal to get in and scalp on Apple there. Not all of them are great on the 10-tick chart, so let's not count on the 10-tick chart for scalping VWAP signals. But if we did want to go just a little bit further out, let's fine-tune it. Let's say 25 ticks. Now keep in mind 25 ticks, so that's a quarter. So what do you want to make per share? If you wanted to make $10 every time, it would have to move, say that amount. But here we go. I don't think you're going to get that. I think you can get, $2, $3, $4 off of it. Apple doesn't move that much. So, if you can get $2 a share, $1 a share, consistently, if you can take $1 a share consistently from your lows, then that is not bad trading at all. Or even 50 cents a share. That is not bad trading at all. So jump in when you see a low, grab 50 cents off, boom, jump out. Okay, jump in when you see a low, grab your 75 cents or $1, jump out. Now when you see a low, you can jump in and ride that for $1 or $2. That's a good one. Okay, but then when you start to see things reverse in your favor with the moving averages, this one right here starting to curl over would tell me that it would be time to get out in here. So, especially this signal down here, that would have been your exit right there. Now, of course, I'm just a data analyst and a security, analyst. Data science is my main attraction here to the stock market, but I enjoy analyzing the data. let's see here. Now, I like pulling up our market watch and getting into, Bank of America, JP Morgan, okay, Wells Fargo, CRM, PayPal. That was one Kathy Woods recently bought into, and PayPal is going to go up in value if you consider that they will continue to be used everywhere for buying nearly all kinds of stuff online. I mean, everything, everybody takes the PayPal. And if they move over to digital currency and allow you to buy a digital currency card through PayPal, then just think about the possibility that opens. That means PayPal could possibly be worth, $500, $1,000 a share if they realistically jump on the Bitcoin train, and half of or even most of their monies are backed by Bitcoin then. Because the idea is, if all of the financials buy up Bitcoin and they can use it for their transactions, the Bitcoin they start and hold with is just what they're going to start giving their change back with. They're going to instantly make more money and more money and more money every day, having and having and having and holding more and more and more Bitcoin. As the institution does this and they grow, of course they'll keep divvying out their, your change, your returns, your whatever, but they're gonna continue, taking your Bitcoin in exchange for your, dollars or whatever it is, and allowing you to spend your Bitcoin with them, which they will hold in exchange for, whatever. Now, the idea here is that once they have enough of it, they are able to, say, of course, when you buy something with your card, you'll have to pay taxes on that. So that's a slight regulation, but not the worst thing for people who just want to spend a little bit of their Bitcoin money. But then, once they own enough of it, it can be regulated even further. So once they own all of the monies, and all of the Bitcoin, and then the mining stops, a few hundred years from now, which is totally fine. The government can wait that long. They will have it and be able to, have it regulated. And once there's no more reward for mining, then it'll be no problem to start regulating it. But by then, it'll be worth so much that it'll just be another addition, to the, value of, America's value. Because all of these altcoins are going to go up in price. We'll continue to invest in them. And that just won't change. And as long as currency is being created for people to spend and people to invest into, then those currencies will be good as gold and thus worth good as gold. Now Microsoft, also good as gold. So... but my little, Bitcoin on the dollar speech today, thanks for listening. If you did, I appreciate it. You're a true fan. Then please subscribe too. That really helps the channel out. Okay, see, these are great moves when we see stuff like this. Okay. Great moves. That's an excellent position to jump in on. Okay, jump in on this VWAP, ride it all the way up. Okay, it turns red, VWAP down, you reverse your position. Okay, woo, reverse your position. Okay, and then boom, VWAP back up. Okay, now you reverse your position again and you go long, whatever you were. So here you're long 25, you're short 50, now you're long 100, whoop, and then you sell out right here and you've made a lot of money. Excellent service. Excellent service. So that's the idea. Now you might use your 3-day trades doing that move, but trust me, that's the move you want to do. At least in my situation, this is my next scalping move that I'm planning. And right here on Apple, Apple seems to be going down in value, so we won't be looking for Apple. Of course, it's being bought up too, but it's going to level out here and hit a bottom and then trend on back up. So don't worry about no Apples. You know, I'd say they'll probably come back down here to around this 230 area where they have this big support in here. You know, that huge support all through this area. So this is probably where we're going to hit it. And I'd say if you see Apple around the 229, between the 230, 229 area, you know, that's about the best place. And really, if you can pick it up, you know, down 227, even better. So, and it looks like it's going to head that way. It looks like it could possibly lose another 25%. So, you know, take this value, subtract 25%. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. So, yeah, or 15%. You know, let's not call it 25. Say 15. Okay. Now, I do believe that wraps us up for today. So, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Happy trading, make some money, and I will catch you on the next video. And if anybody wants access to any of the tools I use in my videos, I save them on GitHub. I give them out for free. The only thing I ask is that you subscribe. So